last consumer. So on this note, it's we are enjoying the investors here. To see Ondo State now is the business hub of the Southwest. I can categorically assure you of that. So thinking of the crops to leverage on are cash crops, maybe like cocoa. Presently, the road from Oda to Cocoa Board in Langbodo is part of the roads that's already in one of the lots to be bidded for. The roads in Ifira, the one in along Afu, along the south as well. All these roads will be taken care of, will be put in a state whereby if there is any investment in any of the rural communities, you can sleep with your two eyes closed that, and a typical ROI will be gotten on that note. So on this note, I want to appreciate Mr. Governor Arakuni Oluwarotimi Odoayo Akeredolu SANCON for the job done and what is still doing in putting smiles in the face of the rural people and at least bridging the gap between both the urban and the rural center. He surely deserves an accolade for this. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Ige Olawale, Project Admin Officer for Rural Assets and Agricultural Marketing Projects. So if you're looking to invest in the local communities, he has told you the most sought after cash crop of the states, where they have more of it, there's an access road into the city center and beyond. Thank you very much. So onwards now we go to the partnership and funding for development. I'll begin by inviting members of the panel and then the moderator. Let's welcome the Ondo State Manager for SMEDAN, Prince Tomi Ikuomola. Prince Ikuomola, you're welcome to yours. Please come to your seat on the podium. Joining him is the Managing Director. Right in the middle here, sir. Just come up this way. No, come this way. Here. Right there. Yes, please. Joining him is the Managing Director for Bank of Industry, Mr. Olukaide Piton, who is represented here by the Regional Manager, BOI Southwest. Let's welcome Mr. Michael Oye. Mr. Oye, you are welcome. To his right, yes. Thank you. Thank you very much. Joining them is Dr. Olamiton Judah Ajidibo, Deputy Executive Administrator, IDSG and CEO, Olavel Investment, South Africa. You're welcome. And our moderator for the panel, who will also act because his principal is supposed to be on the panel, Engineer Bajide Akeredolu. We know he's not here, so our moderator would be a moderator and also act in sitting in for his principal. Let's welcome Technical Advisor, Performance and Project Implementation Monitoring Unit of the government, Mr. Omotala Ariyo. You're welcome. Yes, right there. Thank you. So, Mr. Ariyo, the stage is yours.
Good morning. Good morning, all. It's a pleasure, as always, to be moderating this panel and also sitting in on behalf of the Director General of the Performance and Project Implementation Monitoring Unit. So I'm also very grateful to be sitting next to these esteemed gentlemen to discuss the topic of partnership and funding for development. It's a very broad topic. And generally, I guess what we would be trying to look at is the SDG financing gap and primarily the role of the private sector in filling that financing gap. And of course, throughout the summit, we've discussed funding for development through, for example, PPP frameworks, the investment promotion policies of the states, and as well as incentives for investors that the state has provided. So, generally speaking, for example, we have an SDG financing gap globally of about $3.9 trillion. The UN recently announced that that has gone up to about 10 trillion, and of course, Ondo State will be part of is what's considered to be developing, such that it will also have to play a part in filling in that financing gap. So the first question I would ask there is, what do you think Ondo State can contribute, and how do you think Ondo State can take advantage of financing instruments that would allow it to contribute to fulfilling the SDGs in the state? So you first, Mr. Oye.
Okay, thank you very much. It's been said, I work with Bank of Industry, and BY has been in Ondo State for about 34 years now. I've been partnering with the state, especially in the development of small and medium enterprises in the state. And if we're talking about SDG, you know that SMEs are also a critical part of it, in poverty reduction, in creating jobs, and etc. A lot of the SDG points are related to what the SMEs are doing. So we have been very active in this area, and so far since inception, I think we are giving out about 11 billion to over 250 enterprises. But I must also say that the bulk of that 11 billion, 6.5 billion of it were given in the last 2 years, 2001. So for me, I can see tremendous growth in the business activities in Ondo State. For some time, I've been trying to, working in the Southwest, I've been trying to decipher it at what exactly is happening. You know, we think the bulk of activities should be in Oyo State and the rest of things like that. But we have seen that most of our activities now are coming Southwest, are coming from Ondo State, which also portrays the fact of what the earlier speaker have said, that Ondo State is becoming the business hub in the Southwest, and that is true, because I can really, when we look at our business activities, we can really see that if in the next 2 years we disburse over 6.5 billion to enterprises within the states, and currently about 5 billion we are processing is for disbursement again this year. And while we are praising some applications, around 6 billion for now, which might be disbursed against next year. So there have been a huge leap in what we do in Ondo State. So naturally, we are here to work as a partner with Ondo State to make it happen. In the past, Ondo State has jointly set up a 1 billion MSME fund with the Bank of Industry. And the fund was contributed 500 million each by Bank of Industry and Ondo State. And that was given out to, the entire money was disbursed to a number of enterprises in the states. We expected that should be taken further. Now that we are experiencing much growth and increase coming from the SMEs. So these are one of the areas that we think Ondo State can continue to leverage the funding that are available. Yes, Bank of Industry is a government-funded bank. It's a DFI, Development Finance Institution. It's not just a private entity. But notwithstanding, our focus is on providing finances for the private sector, private enterprises. And we have been doing very well, and we continue to seek for collaboration with those states in making this happen. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir. So I think that's a very insightful analysis of how the private sector and through the Bank of Industry, for example, can allow access to finance for SMEs that are critical to the economy. And of course, with a developing economy that's currently at a GDP of about $7 billion, through efforts like that, I think it will increase. So Dr. Olamiton, sir, in relation to how an investment company like yours, for example, can take advantage of, on the one hand, financing efforts such that you can make investments in the state which will then contribute to development. What is your perspective?
Thank you very much. The intention of the state, otherwise it's very evident that a government that has intention for sustainability or sustainable development of the area will actually make
I don't think they can.
a headway, make an headway to boost not only the economy but the life of the people.
Yes.
And what the investors or the donor or whatever level they want to participate, the first thing they look is the intention of the government. Because in their regulation and everything, they want to be sure that their investment will be protected. So the security of the investment is one thing, is the first thing they are looking at. Then the second thing also is the mechanism, the operational mechanism. Now, if the basic concept is if the basic concept of the initiative or project has participatory partnership and collaboration, and they also look at the engagement, critical stakeholder engagement that will sustain the project even before operation, then the investors will want to invest because they know their capital or their money will be secured. So the first thing that I give kudos to the state is their intention for sustainable development. And the second thing now is the process, how to get it done. Now, to attract the investors to invest here, you have to give them the assurance. And where's the assurance coming from? One, your regulation. Number two, you look at the participation of the citizen of that area. It must be led by them, so they are sure that the people who they are going to, spend their money, they are part of the project. So I will advise the state to, after the strategic planning, should look also at the critical engagement of the stakeholders. And the stakeholders here is not only the private donors, or the public donors, the public investors, but the people on ground, the community.
Yeah.
And that's where you have to make sure you engage or engage the appropriate partners, like the CBOS, where the IDSA comes in, where PIN comes in. These are credible bodies that have been doing good things in the Niger Delta. Yeah. Now, you have to prove that these people are on ground, that it's not the government handling the project. Then they are sure many donors want to see a multi-structure or sectorial partnership that will involve the government, that will involve the private sector, that will involve the CBOS, that will involve several other groups. So now there is continuity. They are sure that if the government of the day is no longer there, those who are handling the project are not government. So there's that security of investment that, oh, this is what I will see. And two, the state also must have their internal reserve. They have their capital venture that to start the project, they will ask you how much you have. You don't have anything, you want me to put my money. You must also be involved in that, in the capital, in the raising of fund. Yeah. So when your fund is there, they are sure that, okay, you are serious. So as a body, we are looking, as a body, we are looking at, okay, the encouragement from the state. How the project will be citizen-driven and not just an external body driven, because that will also give security of your project. Peaceful environment, there is conducive environment for your project to thrive. So, both from the citizen-driven aspect and also as an investor, we want to see the security we're talking about now will involve the sector, the multi-structure sector from everyone, not the government. So the government cannot touch everywhere, but the citizen of the place must be involved. If it is even 1% you are giving to the citizens of the project, okay, they also partner with you. Like in IDSG, we are ready to partner with the state, both in health, in Ondo port, we are ready. In ROMI, we are ready. That's why, like the Development Summit Group, we are ready because we will be doing it, and we are ready to partner with the state to make sure that this sustainable development is not just a theory, but it's what we can see physical. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir. So we've discussed the private sector aspects in terms of financing through the Bank of Industry, and we've now heard from Dr. Olamiton about the cross-sectoral approach that should be taken if we want to ensure sustainable development is a reality. So, Mr. Tomi, I would ask if you have any thoughts in relation to that. So, how can we foster collaboration on the one hand, because the private sector is obviously critical to development, but in particular, it needs to collaborate with the public sector through, for example, easy regulations and processes that are streamlined to ensure that things can operate seamlessly.
Thank you very much. Good morning, everybody. My name is Tomi Kuomola, and I would just like to add lend voice to previous the speakers on this platform that have come here to talk, because I've been brought from the diaspora to lend my voice and support activities in the state. I'm also a son of the soil. I'm from Ondo South. I want to take us down memory lane. The bedrock of development of any nation, economic development of any nation, are the MSMEs. And I think in realization of this in 2003, the government of the day then established the agency called SMEDAN. That was the Small and Medium Enterprises Development Agency of Nigeria by an act of law. And this agency is actually meant to facilitate the access of micro, small, and medium enterprises. In fact, there's a new category now. We call them nano. So we have nano, micro, small, and medium enterprises. We facilitate their access to all they require to thrive. And this includes funding, workspace, technology, market, all the rest. And sincerely speaking, the agency we've been putting our best. And like we have innovative and visionary leaders in Ondo State, we are known to be very, very intelligent people in Ondo State. The leader we had then saw this opportunity that to be very wise to bring in this agency to the state. And he was the very first governor of the state then to bring in the agency to the state in Nigeria. I'm talking about the late Dr. Olusegun Agagu of blessed memory. May God rest his soul. He brought the agency into the state, and ever since, we've been growing in leaps and bounds. Yes, speaking on the side of the SMEs, where we talk about, we don't talk about funding immediately, we talk about capacity building, human capital development. That is the first thing we have to look at before we now look at funding. because we find the instances of people, instances where we have had to provide funds, even grants, as much as 10 million naira for entrepreneurs without prior training or whatever, and they were flittered away. So our emphasis is always on building capacities, and which have been thriving and doing very well. So, and per se, we are also looking at the possibility of getting affordable finance for our NSMEs. Because we found out that finance happens to be one single important factor in the growth of the SMEs. So we are always looking at interest rates or rates of funding that will be affordable to our SMEs at any point in time. And in this regard, we have been striking partnerships with different organizations, both within and outside the state and the country as a whole. I believe that when we get it right, our SMEs will thrive and do very well in Ondo State. More so with the prospect of the Ondo Seaport coming on stream, a lot of opportunities will be unleashed and we'll get there. I also want to establish the fact that we have established the first export cluster in Ondo State, and that happens to be the first cluster in the country. And I think we should appreciate that. And surprisingly, even without the operations of the port, this cluster has been exporting and shipping goods out of the country. We'll be surprised that we can get an aggregation of SMEs to come together with little quantity of goods, aggregate them and send them out of the country. Things we look down upon, like ogbono, egusi, spices, they are being shipped out of the country. And I think 2 months ago, we had our partners from Europe. They came in to pick some products from the state, and they were so delighted. Now we are getting orders in shipment loads, container loads, even without the operations of the port. You can now see, you can now imagine that if the ports now get fully operational, the prospects, the opportunities that will come up, will be bestowed upon SMEs. I think on this note, I will pause for a breath of fresh air. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, sir. So, Mr. Michael.
Yes, please.
So we've now gotten a all-rounded perspective on the importance of collaboration, and Prince Tommy, for example, included a key phrase, diaspora, trying to engage international partners and the like. But I want to take it back because you are the coalface. You'll be able to see, for example, which SMEs are more likely to succeed, which ones look like they fail. And being a banker, the general idea will be that you want to provide finance to these SMEs because they are key to the industrialization of the state. However, the likelihood of, for example, getting repayments, taking good collateral and the like may provide some challenges. So could you please give us some insights into some of those challenges when it comes to those entities who are key for industrialization accessing finance?
Okay, thank you. There's this general understanding within the banking sector that the problem is not the money. The money is there, but it has to be the capacity of these businesses to access the funding. For Bank of Industry, we have been able to mobilize funding from various parts of the world and to make funds available to support the MSMEs. But the bigger challenge has been their capacity, the character, some of them. Like in an instance, I may mention of the 1 billion matching fund we disbursed in collaboration with the state government. A large chunk of that has not been repaid by some of the businesses within the state. But notwithstanding, like I told you, in the last 2 years, we have disbursed over 6.5 billion to various SMEs in the state. And in this year, and I'm expecting that we're going to disburse another 5 billion before the end of the year to various businesses, which include the various players in the cocoa processing industry, a lot of others in the agro-allied industries in the States, the Waywood, all those various businesses in the Waywood Park, and a lot of them across the states that are coming forth. These businesses, if you look at the history behind them, some of them have been there for quite some time, and you could see the pattern of growth. That now, some that were taking 100 million, 200 million, now taking over 1 billion. That shows some level of growth. And we have seen some that just came about in the last 5 years, also positioning themselves very strong. So indeed, businesses have been growing in the States. But the ability to access funding will also depend on a lot of other things. For collateral, some of them are able to, virtually all that we disposed to, that I mentioned to you, they are able to provide the needed collateral. But we can reach out to more if there are other interventions that make it possible for the MSMEs to be able to access funding. Those that are viable but have issues about how do they secure the funding. And that's where collaboration between Bank of Industry and the state also come in. There could be some form of de-risking fund that allows some SMEs maybe to reduce our requirements for collateral from the SMEs. And that will be based on whatever modality that we put in place in conjunction with the state. It's not impossible. State, governments, federal government do set up the risking fund so that MSMEs, that target MSMEs can access this funding with flexible terms. So that's the area of collaboration that will be needed so we can reach out more SME. As a lot of them also are coming. We're talking about the tourism here. I'm sure a lot of SME also will be participating in there. We still continue to talk about the cocoa processing side, even when quite a number of players, the big players, are also going back in terms of sustainability to assist all those smallholder farmers to be able to plant in such a sustainable manner. Although we can also be there to ensure that that one happens. These smallholder farmers may not be able to provide the needed security to access this funding, but they are very critical to the development I'm talking about. We jointly with the state government, we can come up with a modality that allow them to take the funding in a more flexible manner. A lot of other small businesses across the value chain, they can also benefit for this structure if we're able to put something on the ground. We continue to engage the state government in this regard so that more businesses in Ondo State can access funding. Thank you.
Thank you very much. That was very illuminating. So I'm playing a dual role. I'm moderating, but I'm also representing my boss, the Director General of PIMU. So I think taking it from a performance/project management perspective, the office PIMU is intended to ensure that projects have key performance indicators and milestones that we can monitor to ensure that it's delivering what it's supposed to deliver. So for example, this event, for example, is what we call in my office a project that had KPIs and has milestones that we want to achieve. And I think when it comes to financing for development, what we try to do is we try to coordinate and get MDAs to collaborate on either accessing donor funds or understanding that, okay, these are the funds you may access, these are the KPIs that will be attached to them, and we as the performance unit will ensure that it is delivered for the mandate of the state and also for the benefits of the citizens for development. So from my portfolio in the office is generally when it comes to financial services and procurement policies, ensuring that, as you had mentioned, Dr. Olamiton, in relation to ensuring that regulation is streamlined and processes are easy for businesses to follow. We as an office try to make sure that MDAs are not too bureaucratic. We try to make sure that it's easy for businesses to talk to them, and that way you can have that spirit of collaboration. And that's why, for example, we also try to engage the diaspora and the like and multilateral partners. But I think I should open it up now to the audience. And before I do that, I would like to appreciate His Excellency, the Acting Governor, for attending again on the third day. It's our pleasure to have you here with us. And thank you for sticking with us all the way to the end. This is much appreciated, sir. So can we have a roving mic? Any questions for the panel?
Yes, you have
Yes, there's a
questions,
gentleman
moderator.
over here.
4 hands actually up. I'll begin with the lady at the back here.
Yes.
Try and be as fast as I can. Your name, affiliation, and please let's be concise. Thank you very much.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. All protocol duty observed. My name is Ayobanjo Oladune. I've been an investment banker for about 12 years. So my question is to a BOI representative. You were mentioning, we just want a clarification. You talked about lending to SMEs, and you said something about collateral. From my experience, most of these SMEs that we have here, the collateral that is most likely to be acceptable to banks are majorly legal mortgage, which I know that having to ask for legal mortgage from entrepreneurs from this part of the world is not going to be too visible. One, because of the location, because of ability to be able to dispose if there's a bad loan. And from my experience with BOI, with my bank, we've done a lot of collaboration with BOI. They are good at supporting businesses, which I will commend and I will say openly right now. But what the collateral that BOI have been asking is bank guarantees. So are we saying that for these SMEs, bank guarantees are not allowed, or is in addition to bank guarantees in addition to other collaterals that you will be needing for them? Because I believe that if they can get a bank to guarantee them, they should be able to access the loans to support their business. Thank you very much.
Okay.
Which other?
Good morning, everybody. My name is Femi Olafumiloye. I work for Lovebot Innovations and Consulting Limited. Mine is just addition and suggestion. First of all, I'd like to thank, as a business person in Ondo State, I want to thank the Ondo State government for bringing this. This is what we need. One of the things I've learned over the years is that is very important, and that we pay less emphasis to when trying to attract investment to, and this is generally speaking, is the point of reference. What do I mean? I mean, as an investor, if I want to invest, I need to look at the industry and find out how well are the existing businesses doing. So I think that I've been in a lot of conferences like this, but we pay less emphasis to how well existing businesses are doing. For example, if you look at the hospitality business, if you look at how the exponential growth that has been experienced in that sector, you will know that people take references from, it's obvious that the businesses are doing well, and that's why people are going into that. So I would like to suggest, since Ondo State government, they do there are a lot of firsts in a lot of all these sectors, if they could like borrow the Chinese model and create probably an agency for SME evaluation, something like that, and really find out, the serious-minded businesses and find out probably what you need to move from phase one, probably to the next phase, so that people can see, and then they can ask them how well it's going, and then with that, a lot of more businesses will flow into the state. Thank you very much.
Just before the next question, sorry, sir, I would just implore that we please keep the questions short, and we try to avoid making a statement. So please just bundle it into a question as much as possible. Please go ahead, sir.
Well, I'm a little fascinated when you're talking of capital for development, particularly when you're talking of the poor. I do not know how that is ever going to work and how development is ever going to triumph or how the poor is ever going to get out of poverty. First, my own personal experience is such that it doesn't make any sense to take loan from the bank to do anything in this country. I'm glad that Smidan spoke about getting money at very low interest. But I think if we want to develop, what we should be thinking about is grants. I'm talking about the poor now. In this regard, I'm talking to the government. I'm not interested in any bank. I took a loan, I bought a house in, I think it was 2008, paid 30 million, took a loan of 50 million mortgage. By 2019, it was already 150 million. I had to sell 2 plots of land in Lekki to pay for it. Who is the poor? Who is going to, you tell me the poor, who is going to face that challenge? The point I'm making is the government should be serious if it is interested in development and forget about any loan. I think the most sensible thing is to create grants, some kind of development fund, and then you can then seek the bank's partnership in terms of monitoring the type of people that should be given these grants and monitoring the effective use of these grants. I think that is where the banks could be useful and help governments. If we expect that we will ever develop through taking loans, that will never happen. And forever and ever, we will remain poor. Our people will remain poor. This is the area that we should be talking about as far as I'm concerned. All this issue of loan and loan and loan and loan, you will kill yourself in the process.
Okay. Hello, gentlemen. My name is Olatunde Ojomo. I represent a South Korean investment outfit, and we're very interested in what's happening in Ondo State. Now, my question is for the gentleman from Bank of Industry. Now, if we have a major investment in any of the projects, industrial projects here, what sort of guarantee could you provide in partnership with the state government for our investment? What could you do to encourage us to bring in those kind of investments? Thank you.
So answer this four. If you have time, there are 2 more that I'll come back to take.
Okay, how are we looking on time? Okay.
You're good, yeah.
So, do we have anybody with more questions?
Yeah.
Or should we?
You want me to take this one?
Okay, okay.
You want me to? I was thinking that you...
We'll answer these ones first.
Yeah, and then I come back and take the 2 if you have some more time.
Okay.
Please go ahead.
So, do you want to go ahead?
Okay. Thank you.
I think you have 2 questions.
I think I just have 2, the first one and the last one. The lady over there was talking about the SMEs and the issue of security that I require. Whether we also take BG, we take BG, whether they also need to get other things. You know, there are various forms of collateral that we require. One of them is legal mortgage. If you are providing legal mortgage, you are not meant to provide a BG. If you are providing a BG, you are not required to provide legal mortgage. So is either one of them that can be used for these purposes. But for loans that are less than 10 million naira, we do take guarantees. You know, we expect 2 guarantors to support the loan request. And in that case of a loan below 10 million, we will not require any form of physical asset, like legal mortgage or a bank guarantee, no. So for loans below 10 million, we only need 2 guarantors, you know. But for loans above 10 million, that's when we need collateral such as legal mortgage or bank guarantee or as it may be. But what I was saying the other time is that even for them to provide the legal mortgage or even to provide the bank guarantee is a whole lot for some SMEs. There are viable businesses that we know they are viable, but they are not able to provide the kind of collateral that are required. And you know, the bank is a go concern. Everybody wants to recoup the money that has given out. We want to be able to recover it. So it's mandatory for us to secure our loan in whatever form, either by legal mortgage, bank guarantee, or guarantors for loans below 10 million. But if your business is viable, but you are not able to meet this requirement, what I'm saying is that it's important that we seek to collaborate with the state government to come up with some form of de-risking arrangement that will enable you to, sieve out some viable businesses, but could not provide any collateral, so that we can still be able to give them money, you know. But these businesses are operating within the state. They are contributing to the development of the state. They are viable, they want to grow, but they cannot meet the requirements of the loan in terms of collateral. How do we support this kind of business? And we have them all across. You know, though we have financed a lot of businesses, cutting across different sectors, agro-allied, like I said, tourism, hospitality and tourism, healthcare, I can mention a whole lot, you know, where we are financed. But I still believe we can still reach out more, especially those ones that are viable but not able to provide the needed security. So that is the thrust of my submission in that regard. So when we take BG, we don't take legal mortgage again. It's either you provide BG or legal mortgage. Thank you. On the last one, the guarantees, what form of guarantees we are going to require if there are industrial projects or projects in conjunction with the state government. All we need is, first of all, BOI, we only finance tangible things. If you have a project or you are implementing a particular project, we're looking at certain items that fall in as part of the equipment or the utilities that you are deploying as part of the project. So we finance those critical things. And to finance anything in conjunction under PPP arrangement, we will need a bank to guarantee you. And we have numerous, a lady has also mentioned over there, we have a lot, we partner with all the commercial banks in the country and some other investment complex that can guarantee your loan in this regard. And BOI loan are strictly 10%. 10%. There are some other funds that we give in single digits of 9%. And we have been cases where we partner with the state government to deliver funding at about 5%. So this kind of funding from Bank of Industry, it's funding for development. You know, you might say loan, but there are also loans that are for development. In the course of that, they are highly subsidized. So if you are implementing a viable project or you are operating a viable business, taking a loan of 9 to 10% in an area where inflation is getting close to 20% or thereabout, this is highly subsidized for you already. So if you have a viable business, there's no need for you to run away from loan. If you are looking for a loan for development, in 9%, 10%, in this dispensation, is highly subsidized and it's for development for you. Thank you.
Okay, we can take another set of questions.
So let's have the questions. Yes, go ahead.
Gentleman over there.
Hello, good morning, everyone. My name is Taiwo Ebiesua. I'm an executive director and co-founder at FinServ Investment Limited. I'm quite excited about this program, and we have various stakeholders coming together to have this conversation. We all know and understand the importance of SMEs in the development of any economy. And for Nigeria, we understand that they employ about 78% of the working population. And looking at their contribution to the GDP as well, that's about 48%. So the loan from BOI, because I actually have a question for the BOI team. All right, so the loan from BOI, it's a concessionary loan. After the MPC yesterday, the MPR was actually raised by 25 basis points, which is about 18.75. So it's very concessionary. So my first question, which I think a lady asked, was the issue of collateral. All right. Most times it's BGs. And even for BGs, they are actually for for higher amounts, okay, that is noted. But even for the BGs, it's not all banks that you can go to get the BGs. It's not all banks. You go to some banks, maybe a tier 2 banks, and they tell you that they've exhausted their lines. So you have to go to a tier 1 bank, all right? So that's noted. Then the second concern also is this, for this same SMEs, looking at their importance to the growth of any economy. How was it called? The BDSPs. So I want to know if you have that kind of arrangement in the state as well, because I know that you have BDSPs that you collaborate with in Lagos. All right. Looking at the technicality involved at times in assessing funding. So to make it easier for SMEs to approach BOI, they collaborate with BDSP. So I want to know if you have such kind of arrangement. So if the arrangement is in place, it makes it much more easier for these SMEs to approach the bank. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you very much. My name is Samuel Kolawole, an executive director at Braille Life Agro Limited. Some of my questions has been answered by the BIO speaker. But of course, I want to also, as an agri-tech organization, we try to support young people into agriculture, because we know agriculture is the next thing, and quite a lot number of young people are really not interested in agriculture. And we want to see how we can encourage as many of them to get involved. So now, in setting this up, we realize that it's so difficult for some of these young people to get support structure. We as an organization, we partner with organizations that makes agriculture less risky, in the sense of partnering with organizations with tech and many more. So the questions clearly now is that, how do, like Smidan talks about capacity development, BIO and the likes, and the support structure for the fund. What are those things that you've put in place for young people to really assess this fund for agriculture specifically now? Thank you very much.
We're going to take a last question because of time. Prof, that's our last question. Please go ahead. I don't think it's on. I'll help you. It is on. It is? Okay, now it is.
Good morning, all protocol duly observed. My name is Professor Ruth Gabriel Ajubiwe, and I stand in for the Exporters Cluster. My question is in two forms, to the BOI and to our state. And I just want to take 1 minute to expose or expand on what I want to say. China, everybody, China is the new market in. Something makes China to come to that. And we are now in developed Ondo, and I'm an indigene of Ondo. Now, I want to know what the state government, especially the office of the moderator, and BOI is doing to form as a form of collaborator or backbone for the exporters and for the SMEs to begin to bring in dollars, euro, pound sterling to Ondo State, apart from the crude oil, so that we get a good fund at a point of less than 5%. Thank you.
You can answer now, please.
Okay, I think I would just quickly answer that in relation to what the Performance and Project Implementation Monitoring Unit is doing. So what, in particular, we've been working particularly closely with the key stakeholders in the states when it comes to industrialization and investment promotion. Now, for the state to increase its tax revenue base, it is important that businesses feel like they can come to Ondo State. There are certain things that already work in the state's favor when it comes to mineral resources, for example, and favorable geographic conditions. But specifically, for example, we regularly try to ensure that we represent the state externally to investors, so they know that the state is a place that they can come to invest and make money, and that way we start to diversify the economy, and people don't just come for the traditional sectors of the state and the like. And so, for example, particularly from a policy perspective, the state has a renewed industrial policy which is specifically geared towards non-oil products. And the general idea is to ensure that the economy is diversified, manufacturing is encouraged, processing is encouraged, and that way the economy continues to stay diversified. So that would be my answer to your question, ma'am. But before we take the other questions, I wanted to get Prince Tomi and Dr. Lighton's just concluding thoughts for about a minute, as short as possible. Do you have any concluding thoughts? And then we'll just quickly get on to the questions next.
Thank you very much. I hope I'll be able to summarize in a minute, because I just took a breath of fresh air. I just want to speak on the funding issue still. In our agency, we try to de-emphasize and discourage loans for startups. We don't do it. We encourage, like one of the speakers said, we encourage provision of grants and funding opportunities that come at no cost to the startup. And in this regard, we have so many programs running. The Young Business Owners of Nigeria, Conditional Grant Scheme, National Business Skills Initiative, and so many things like that to help the startups. Then for the existing businesses, it is good to know that Smedan has floated its own microfinance bank, and we are equally collaborating with some financial institutions to make sure we deliver finance or funding to SMEs at single-digit rates. We are also partnering with a lot of organizations within and outside the country to give, and we are still working on grants. And of course, a lot of our SMEs have benefited grants from African Development Bank, World Bank, USAID, and so many others. I know some people here that have benefited grants of $40,000 from the World Bank, so I can see them smiling through the agency. And we still continue along those lines, because we found out that 90% of new businesses collapse within the first 3 years of establishment due to funding challenges, probably because of loans they took. Then we're also trying to work with clusters. We work with cluster formations to demystify the costing factor. We believe that we have so many clusters that can work in this part of the country, especially in Ondo State. And in doing cluster formation, we try and strengthen the value chain. Because you have a value chain and you strengthen it, you get more value for money. And in this way, we are also providing CFCs, we call them Common Facility Centers, where we can go there and process at a minimal cost, rather than having to buy the equipment and operate on your own. The federal government, through Smedan, is taking this step, and I want to assure you that the first state that will benefit in this is Ondo State. Thank you very much, and God bless you.
I want to quickly put this. It is one thing for you to plan or to have a strategic planning for a project. But what sustains the spirit of that project is the appropriate partnership and collaboration. And in the end of it, the maintenance culture, the environment, and the security of the area where you are to launch that project, the orientation of the people there matters a lot. And that is why stakeholders, engagement, and capacity building is a priority. You may have the fund, you may get a fund to do it, but if you don't have a conducive environment, then it cannot be done. So I want to appeal to the state that you should look for a credible, appropriate partnership and outside funding, but also in the operation that will help to sustain that project. And two, the benefit, because there must be a mutual benefit from the partners. So the community, it must be a citizen-driven, not just an alien project. Let the people in that area participate. So I call it participatory partnership. Participate from the beginning in the planning, in everything that you are going to do. So they will own the project, they will protect the project, they will sustain the project, and they will see it that they benefited from it. So taking the funding and the investment aspect, like I said earlier on, the investors want to see, how do I get my money back? You may have, let me go to the Bank of Industry. Let me go to any investors. Yes, they want to invest. But the next thing they will see, you may have a beautiful package, but they want to see, how will I get my money back? So if that is not well established, then you see that you have a good project, but the investors are taken back. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir. So our time is up. I'm sure there are many more questions, but you will have to continue it at the networking lunch we have planned for you this afternoon. As always, it's an absolute pleasure to have hosted this panel. Thank you very much for your time and your attention.
All right. Thank you very much. Please rise for family photo and take your seat thereafter in the audience. Thank you. Let's make the applause better for them. Thank you so much, Ario. Such a good time manager when it comes to moderating. Thank you so much. And to your panelists, we thank you as well. Yesterday, they... Okay, please, panel members, can you come back? Panel members, please come back, please. Okay, yes, that's true. Please come back. We want to appreciate you for participating as panelist and moderator. Can we have that? Yes, please. Our souvenir for Develop Ondo 2.0. Thank you very much. Go ahead. Thank you very much for your active participation and providing as well your thoughts here today as moderator and panelists. Thank you very much. So we are all aware that okay. All right. So right now, we're aware that we're supposed to take quite a number of MOU signing or partnership agreement signing or service level agreement signing today. Now, all of those, because of time, are going to happen, within closed doors. However, we have one that is ready today, and I would like to now invite His Excellency, Acting Governor, His Excellency Honorable Lucky Oremisa Aye Tatiwa. If you can please come on the stage, sir, and present this certificate of registration to do business, license, I beg your pardon, this license to do business in the power sector of Ondo State. You know, the president of the Renewable Energy Association of Nigeria said yesterday that Ondo is one of the first states to domesticate. Can I have the representative of Advert to please come on stage now, real quick, right in the middle there? So this is the very first of the MOUs and SLAs and partnership agreements. As I said, many others will go closed door because of time. This one is for power generation, captive power generation in Ondo State. Excellency, you want to say anything before you present it? Or you're good? Or Commissioner, you want to say something? Or you're good? Okay, please.
Your Excellency, members of the top table, ladies and gentlemen, this license we are issuing this morning is highly likely to be the number one of such in Nigeria so far. For people who are familiar with Akure metropolis, around Royal Birds Junction in Alagbaka, you see a massive construction going on. That is the Alagbaka Power Company trying to raise a 4.5 megawatts power solution that will supply Alagbaka in Akure. And that is first in many other projects by Arakunrin, Oluwarotimi Akeredolu SA and CON to electrify Ondo State in a unique way. Thank you very much.
Congratulations to the Alagbaka Power Limited. Congratulations to the government of Ondo State. Truly a step in the right direction. When you fly over the cities that tourists want to go to every now and then, some of the things that make those cities beautiful is electricity. Without electricity, it will be dark and there will be no attraction at night. So the right on their way to doing that is what the government is doing yet again. Congratulations to the company and to the state one more time. So we want to give the same appreciation souvenir to the speakers from the previous sessions. I know quite a number of them are not here. Some have flown out of Akure back to their respective bases. And what I'm going to do is I will run through the lists as I have them from the day we started. So please, if you're still in the room and you were a panelist in the first panel that we had on plotting the roadmap to developing possibilities, where NMPC was represented, NUPRC was represented, NCDMB was represented. Is there anyone in the room from any of these three one company and two agencies of government? Anyone from NCDMB still in the room? NCDMB, please come. NCDMB is still here. Please, let's appreciate NCDMB. I guess you can receive two because the next one is for Chevron, and that's your brother. So when you come, please come up. Is he in the room? Is your brother in the room? Please come up the stairs. Come up the stairs. The commissioner would present this appreciation souvenirs to you. Is Chris Mwokolo still in the room? Someone can receive Chris? Yes, and of course, Dr. James Shindi moderated that panel. He will also come to receive his own. Please, right in the middle, sir. Let's do it in the middle. Right in the middle. Go again, Commissioner. Just go again to your left a little bit. And move forward. That's it. Fantastic. All right. That is that for that panel. Is anyone receiving on behalf of Chris Mwokolo? If there's none, we make progress. Okay. Miss Precious Akanono, she's still in the room. Or someone representing her still in the room. There's for the next. The one for Chevron. Please, the one for Chevron. That's his brother. Give him. Oh, okay. All right. Thank you very much. Thank you, NCDMB. Thank you very much. Dr. James Shindi, you receive your own. You moderated the panel. Is there anyone from NDDC still in the room? Because your MD was in panel 2. If you receive NDDC, okay, they're not in the room. Engineer Femi Akarakiri is in the room, the director of ONDIPA. He was on the panel 2. Let's give him an appreciation applause. Thank you. Yeah, Honorable Commissioner. If you are on that panel and I have not called you and you're in the room, please step forward. Panel 2, in case I'm missing out anybody. Is anyone here representing Sheon Suleiman, MD Siemens? He was on our next panel. I'm sure he's not in the room. Okay. Ayo Adimilwa. He's not in the room, is he? Is anyone from Renewable Energy here? Association? No one. We make progress. Okay. Anyone from Axela still in the room? Because the CEO is definitely not here. These are chief executives. They will need to go back, right? Okay. Miss Chinenye has gone. Chinenye has gone. Any rep of... Okay, who moderated that panel again? I think it was Honorable Commissioner himself that did that panel. So he will present himself after, don't worry. He presents himself after. Okay, so commissioners, practically every commissioner, is your state, is your souvenir, we still want to say thank you to you for being on the panel. So the commissioners in the room, please. I know some of you are not in the room. Can the commissioners in the room just come up and receive this appreciation souvenir from... Courtesy of the event. Courtesy of the event. Let's go ahead. Please come. Please come. We want to say thank you to you. Please come. Please come. Let's say thank you to our commissioners. There are people who like what they're giving you. If you already have it, you can sow a seed. They thank you and God bless you. You will get goes a long way. So it's all right. Let's give to our commissioners who are in the room. No. You can take and bless someone else. It's all right. Thank you very much. You just bless somebody. I know someone in the room here would appreciate that beautifully done souvenir by Ondo State government. Growing up, one of the things that I have ever wanted to do, hopefully I'll be able to do it in this country, is to travel around the country by road. And what gave rise to me having that desire is growing up as the son of a railway worker. The railways used to have these calendars that were called almanac back in the day. Used to have these calendars every year. And each year, they took time to highlight some of the beautiful tourist destinations that you can go to around the country. And that got me fascinated with the tourist attractions in Nigeria, and I wanted to see it. I think Ondo State can adapt that and make sure that in every document of this kind that goes out, Can we give our commissioners a round of applause, please? Thank you, commissioners. You not only are working with His Excellency the Governor to deliver development in the state, you also gave us your time, you took notes, you noted where your ministry has been addressed, and you took notes to make it better living here. You stated your commitment to work with partners who will come for development. We thank you. Please, one more time for our honorable commissioners. Thank you immensely. Thank you, thank you. On to the next panel. Can we have the GM from Oil and Gas Free Zones, Alhaji Kotangora, if he's still here, or can someone receive on his behalf? I think he's gone. He was on the next panel. Now, NCDMB will need to come back again because this time you're getting as your own. The other one was your Oga. You were on this panel. Come and get your own. Mr. Omomehin, come and get your own. You were on that panel. Thank you very much. Our friend from Ekiti, Mr. Ayo Kunumi Aribidara. Is he still in the room? Mr. Aribidara from Ekiti, or someone representing him. If he's not, we make progress. Is our thank you to you for being on this panel. Mr. Yomi Omomuwuson is not here. Is anyone from Lekki Concession Company here? No one. Don't worry, we'll send all of these things by mail to them. The gentleman who represented, Otumba who represented Otumba Wanle Akimboboye, is he in the room this morning? He's not in the room. Okay. Shaylo is not in the room as well, I suppose. Kinsley in the room? Kinsley is not in the room. But I'm in the room. I'm already the panel, so give me my own. Give me my own. Give me my own. I'm already the panel. Thank you. Thank you, Commissioner. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you very much. So, Honorable Commissioner. Okay, please receive for, receive for Mr. Wale Akimboboye, our Tourism Commissioner. Thank you very much. Please, can we put our hands together one more time for all of our speakers and panelists? Thank you so much. And now we will switching gears to the closing ceremony, which will be opened by closing remarks from the chairman of the Planning and Organizing Committee, who is already on the stage with me, Honorable Commissioner for Energy and Mineral Resources. Please, let's have that one for SA to Governor. Let's have one. SA to the Governor on Rural and Community Development. Thank you. Yes, you're one of our speakers. My apologies. Thank you very much. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So, ladies and gentlemen, please, I know sometimes it's like I'm belaboring you to clap. Put your hands together. A resounding applause for the chairman of the organizing committee who has led his committee to put all of this together.
Your Excellency, the acting governor of Ondo State, Honorable Lucky Orimisan Ayedatiwa, the chief of staff to the governor of Ondo State, Chief Olugbenga Ali, the head of service, government of Ondo State, Mr. Kayode Ogundele. I'll use the Honorable Commissioner for Education, Mr. Pastor Femi Agagu, as a point of contact to greet all my esteemed colleagues, the commissioners, and the special advisors here. George, unfortunately, I don't have your name, but I greet you, sir, and I want to use you as a point of contact to all judges in the House. The permanent secretaries, I use this as points of contact to our bureaucratic system in Ondo State. Our stakeholders, investors, participants, visitors, and everyone who has made time to be part of this watershed event that are just taking place in Ondo State. I'll speak on three big things. First is the visionary, the vision, and the mission. The visionary is Arakunrin Oluwarotimi Odunayo Akeredolu, a man who was voted as a governor but has become the leader of his people, transcending just the requirements of the law, providing a leader that has become aspirational. What you are seeing here in the past 3 days is an eloquent testimony to the strength of a man who has built an institution. Even though he's not here physically, you have seen for yourself that Ondo State is running completely, successfully, even though he's not here with us in the room. Will you join your hands together for Arakunrin? They normally say, if you want to know you have a business, travel for 1 month and see if the business continues or not. If your business will not run until you are there, you have not got a business. You have only got an employment. Arakunrin has demonstrated that he has built men, he has built institutions, and we can run because we receive our inspiration from him. The visionary wanted a state where prosperity will spring from within, where all demographics can rise in the morning, work, earn a decent living, live in conducive environments, participate in the economy of the state, and move our state from the realm of agrarian agriculture to the realm of manufacturing and industrialization. He has done this in many big ways. We have an industrial park in Ore. An industrial city is being worked already in Ilaje. A deep sea port has been approved and is right now at the development phase. When all of these things come together, you see a state where anyone who can think, who can hope, who can dream, who can work, will live in prosperity. That is what the visionary has put forth. Having a meeting of the description is just to bring everyone together, the best of minds, business thinkers, developers, partners, stakeholders, to come and partner with us because our leader has a vision. This vision has been encapsulated in the 8-letter word, the redeem agenda. These 8 elements are tied to the 17 SDG goals of the United Nations. And these goals are being pursued with all aggressiveness. And anyone who is part of Arakorin's machine understands what needs to be done. And this event is just a way of coming together and remind ourselves the work that we have to do. And to tell everyone who can join us that our leader has got a mission. That mission is to move Ondo State from this realm it is right now to the realm of development and prosperity that is sustainable. We thank our partners, especially the European Union, UNDP, and other co-venturers who have participated and who have provided the kind of superlative organization you see here today. Chief among those is Brevity Anderson, our event consultant, who are brought into bear their years of experience in Nigeria, out of Nigeria, to give us an event that I know for a long time we will remember. I will especially appreciate PIMO, Performance and Project Implementation and Monitoring Unit of the government, ably led by Engineer Babajide Akeredolu. When you see this event, you may not know the mechanics that produced the event. Babajide sits at the center of that, bringing the event together, working together day and night. Even though he's not here physically, he keeps monitoring every element of it. In project management, one of the key things you must get right before a project will succeed is sponsors' strong support. You can rest assured that Babajide is the big enchilada at the back of the room who has made that possible. Please jam your hands together if you must clap for Babajide Akeredolu. I thank every member of the LOC, all the 8 of us. I will mention some of them. The Commissioner for Culture and Tourism, please rise up, be recognized. He's a key member of the LOC. The Commissioner for Regional Integration and Diaspora, Honorable Boye Ologbese. Dr. Sumisma Francis, please clap for him. Mr. Oyeniyi Oseni, Engineer Femi Akarakiri, the Honorable Commissioner for Commerce, Industry, and Cooperative Services is not here. He's a member of that committee, and other people work with us, the co-opted members. Tola Ariyo. Tola Ariyo is a young man who provides content. Tell him to write 10 speeches in 1 hour, you will see the result. And so many other people. With me, I also want to thank specially the bureaucracy. Mrs. Lucy Akerele, the DFA of my ministry, superlative, excellent. The Director of Accounts, Mr. Bodunde Folusho, and so many other people in other ministries who supported us. I want to thank all of you. We are getting to the end of the event, and you'll be hearing from the acting governor himself. One thing I want you to leave here with, this is just one chain in that link. We are moving further. This is 2.0. 3.0 is going to be much more magnificent in all descriptions. If you are thinking about what to do next time, advertisement, exhibition, participation, now is the time to begin to prepare. Thank you very much, and God bless you.
Thank you very much, Engineer Rasak Obey, Commissioner for Energy and Mineral Resources. The next item is the brief I'll try and make it brief, even though it's not looking like that. It's a brief summary from the rapporteurs for this summit. They've been at it since we began on Monday morning. And before I get into the report, they have asked me to read the report on behalf of the rapporteurs committee for this summit. Before I get into the report, I'd like to first of all ask you with an applause to appreciate our rapporteurs, led by the one I call High Chief Frank Izwebunam, a veteran energy journalist. Frank, where are you? Very well done. And the members of the team, 3 lovely ladies who are here, from here in Ondo, residents of the city of Akure. Abiola, Dami, Lola, come on, please. Where's Abiola? Yes, please, for recognition. Give them a round of applause. Genevieve Alozie, give them a round of applause. And Amarachi Ihainchi, we'll give them a round of applause. So the 3 of them, led by Frank, has put this together. And my duty is to read to you. I'll try and be as brief as possible. Develop Ondo 2.0 Investment Summit, Rapporteur's brief summary. Introduction. The Develop Ondo 2.0 Investment Summit was organized by the Ondo State Government through a local organizing committee constituted by the Ondo State Governor, Arakurin Oluwarotimi Akeredolu, CON-SAN, under the leadership of Engineer Razak Obe, Commissioner for Energy and Mineral Resources. The theme of the summit is Developing Possibilities, with the objective to showcase the investment potentials and opportunities in the state. The opening ceremony. The opening ceremony was held at the Dome International Culture and Event Center, Akure, Ondo State. It was well attended with high-powered representation from the government and the private sector. Goodwill messages were presented by Ruben Aguilera, Acting Head, EU Delegation to Nigeria and ECOWAS, Deputy Resident Representative Operations UNDP Fatih Atairu, Managing Director, Niger Delta Development Commission, Dr. Samuel Ogboku, General Manager Chevron, Andrew Omomehin, and Benga Komolafe, Commission Chief Executive of NUPRC, who was represented by Ebel Nsa. The DG Performance and Project Implementation Monitoring Unit, PIMU, of the state, Engineer Babajide Akeredolu, represented by Chief Administrator of PIMU, Olu Muyiwa Akin-Koli, made a presentation focused on the administration policy, thrust, and economic stability of the Ondo State Governor, His Excellency Arakurin Oluwarotimi Akeredolu, CON-SAN. The high point of the opening ceremony was the keynote address by the Executive Governor of the state, His Excellency Oluwarotimi Akeredolu, SAN, CON, represented by the Acting Governor of the state, His Excellency Honorable Lucky Orimisan Aye Tatiwa. While welcoming guests to the summit, the governor said that Develop Ondo 2.0 Investment Summit is a testament to vision and symbolizes the drive to unlock and harness the endowed mineral resources in the state. The target for Develop Ondo 2.0 Investment Summit is to attract investment worth over $2 billion and create 70,000 new jobs in the state. Plenary Session 1, Sub-Theme, Plotting the Roadmap to Developing Possibility in Oil-Bearing State. The session focused on how Ondo State can make the most out of its hydrocarbon resources. One of the ways identified for the state to reap more benefits from its oil resources is to deepen local participation in the oil and gas sector. The projects that will help to actualize this include establishment of production and fabrication yards in the oil and gas industrial park, partnering with the private sector and multilateral agencies in training of youth on some oil and gas skills, developing the state's gas resources to leverage on virtual pipeline and CNG as alternative following the removal of fuel subsidy. The session recommended that energy access has to be matched with energy affordability. Plenary Session 2, Sub-Theme, Finance and Investment, Public-Private Dialogue for SDG-aligned investments and shift in development financing of sub-national state. The session focused on how government and businesses can ensure that their investment align with sustainable development goals. The state uses the 17 SDGs goes through redeemed agenda of His Excellency Arakurin Oluwarotimi Akeredolu, CON-SAN, to fit in all projects at all levels by providing quality and equity. The session also emphasized on the importance of compliance and accountability and the need to put in place a transparent process for monitoring finances. Plenary Session 3, sub-theme, Powering with Alternative Energies to Stabilize and Secure the Future. The session pointed out that Nigerians' on-grid power generation is about 4,500 megawatts against 30,000 megawatts that is needed. Even the 4,500 megawatts generated is not being fully utilized because of transmission capacity. The panel recommended the federal government for the new constitutional amendment that allowed state governments to generate and distribute power. However, it noted that beyond the law and policy, implementation is the key. The session recommended that significant amount of gas resources available in the country should be utilized to bridge the gap in power generation. They also stated that what is required is a collaboration between the private sector and the government, though the government has a larger role to play by creating an enabling environment. The next and fourth session, sub-theme, Ondo State Development Strategy, an open conversation session with the state critical MDAs and ESCO members. The session focused on the redeemed agenda of the executive governor of the state, His Excellency Arakunrin Oluwarotimi Akeredolu, SANCON. Each ministry MDA enumerated its achievements inspired by the visionary leadership of the governor. Some of the achievements of the administrations include creation of the Ministry of Energy in Ondo State, near completion of 330 kVA line, deployment of over 100 transformers to the riverine areas, installation of mini-grid in Alagbaka, Akure, Owo, and Okitikpupa, training of 1,565 youth and women in farming, embarked on cocoa revolution, moved the state from 4% access to water to 33%, massive infrastructural development which includes 2 flyovers, 300-kilometer strategic roads, and dualization in the 3 senatorial zones which are 100% completed. Dualization of Okitikpupa Road to facilitate access to the Ondo State seaport. Odris grew IGR from about 600 million to 3.7 billion monthly. Plenary 5, sub-theme, Financing Technology Investment. The session highlighted various technological endeavors in Ondo State, which include ICT training for teachers. The Education Ministry is currently working on making its curriculum digital, deploying technology to monitor teachers' performances and attendance, digitalizing pupils' results, which enable parents to check results of their wards online, and the state is on course to be the first in Africa to develop hearing aid that is affordable. The session recommended creation of more ICT hubs, taking banking to the grassroots through collaboration with fintech companies and further investment in technology in the universities. Plenary 6, sub-theme, Port Ondo as government opportunity to developing possibilities in manufacturing, economic zones, logistics base. The session reiterated that the idea of creating Port Ondo started from Develop Ondo 1.0. Ondo State engaged the federal government over the years, and on May 23, 2023, the news of approval of Port Ondo was given. The session suggested that the state should make the project bankable for investors and use the public-private partnership model. It also recommended the integration of the port with a free trade zone and oil and gas park for optimal utilization and benefit of the people of Ondo State. Plenary 7, sub-theme, Tourism Development, Discovering Niche Opportunities for Growth. The session focused on how tourism can get the kind of attention it deserves and thrive in Ondo State. Some of the state tourism efforts enumerated include development of Araromi Beach in conjunction with La Campagne Tropicana, farm tourism in Nibalola and Ilara Moking, periodic theater performances, establishment of culture and tourism club in all secondary schools. The session recommended that the state government should encourage more private sector involvement, especially in upgrading and developing its abundant natural tourist sites like the Idonri Hill, coastal landmasses, Owo Museum, and a host of others. The day's deliberation ended with a closing remark by the acting governor of the state, His Excellency Honorable Lucky Orimisan Aye Tatiwa. Last and final plenary, Partnership and Funding for development. The session focused on how to synergize partnership and funding for optimal development. Why funding is important, it is critical to build capacity before the funding, otherwise funds will be frittered away. Another critical step is stakeholder engagement to ensure security of investment. Your Excellencies, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, that is the assignment given to me by the rapporteurs. That is the summary they have taken. If you think there's something they need to capture, you can move out to the table as we end the event a little later and have a quick interaction with Frank and the lovely three smart ladies, and they can take that on. But for now, can we give them another round of applause? Your Excellencies, very distinguished ladies and gentlemen, onwards now to the main final comments before the vote of thanks. I was saying to someone earlier today, one of the hallmarks of a good leader is that he is loyal, he's humble, he's accessible, he's teachable, and he is quick to implement the kind of policies and processes that will improve the lot of his business or his people, in this case, his people. And this next speaker is one of such great leaders who embodies these qualities and more. He has demonstrated them by his presence and attendance to this event. He has dedicated time to this, underscoring his loyalty, underscoring his commitment, and indeed his sagacity. To take the concluding remarks on behalf of the governor of the state, His Excellency Arakunrin Akeredolu, CON, please welcome with me His Excellency Honorable Lucky Orimisan Ayetatiwa, Acting Governor of Ondo State. Who can make that applause better? He has shown commitment, he has shown dedication, he has shown leadership these past 3 days. Thank you, Your Excellency. Can we have this come on, please? Technical? All right. Thank you.
Good. Okay. Thank you. My Lord, Justice Hayedu Dushola, the Chief Judge of Ondo State, who is ably represented here by my Lord Justice Adebusoye. You are recognized. The Chief of Staff to Mr. Governor, Chief Olugbengali, the Head of Service, Pastor Kawade Omundele, the Commissioner for Education, Science and Technology, Honorable Femi Agagu, all other commissioners that are here and special advisors. I recognize every one of you. Let me use Commissioner for Culture and Tourism as a point of contact to all of you. Honorable Wale Akinlosotu. Members of Ondo State House of Assembly that are here, either serving or past, Honorable. I could see Honorable Olugbenga Omole, immediate past member representing Nakoko Southwest 1. You are recognized. All our development partners that are still here in the hall, I recognize every one of you. Board chairman, chairman of parastatals, permanent secretaries, our party leaders. Let me use the Akara Ogun of our time, Dr. Tunji Abayomi, as a point of contact to all our party leaders. He's also the chairman board of Pro-Chancellor, yes, of Akungba, University of Akungba. I recognize you, sir, and all other party leaders that are here. All our participants, chairman of council, that are still here, and secretary to local government administration that are here, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. What has a beginning also has an end. We have been here in the last 3 days doing great work for our state. And as we come to the close of these 3 days, Develop Ondo 2.0 Investment Summit, on behalf of Arakunrin Oluwarotimi Odunayo Akeredolu, SANCON, Governor of Ondo State, I stand before you with a sense of great optimism and pride in what we have achieved together. I must thank our indefatigable governor, Arakunrin Oluwarotimi Odunayo Akeredolu, SANCON, a man of tremendous vision and leadership acumen, who again has demonstrated his unrelenting determination to develop Ondo State by making this platform possible. Let us give our governor a hand of applause. Over the past 3 days, we have witnessed engaging discussions, fruitful deliberations, and profound exchanges of ideas, all center around the theme of developing possibilities. I believe you listened to the rapporteurs as he wrote out a list of all the topics and the issues that were discussed. I therefore want to extend my heartfelt appreciation to all attendees, speakers, panelists, and partners who have made this event a resounding success. Throughout this summit, we have had the privilege of convening 8 plenary sessions where we have delved deeply into every sectors of the economy. And one of the critical topics that was raised is critical because it's one thing we have been looking forward to having in abundance in this country, not just in Ondo State. And that is diversifying Ondo State energy mix. This is alongside the issues and challenges surrounding financing for the state's development and engagement of our multilateral partners. We have had the privilege of hearing from both the private and public sectors, gaining valuable insights into the potential of renewable energy sources, harnessing our mineral resources, and charting a path towards sustainable energy for the future of our great Sunshine State. This was an illuminating conversation that was led by the Honorable Commissioner for Energy and Mineral Resources, Engineer Razak Obey. Our esteemed members of Ondo State Executive Council have also played integral role in these conversations, articulating the state's development strategies and reaffirming our commitment to creating a conducive and attractive climate, investment climate. Their valuable contributions have set the stage for meaningful partnership between the government and the private sectors, fostering an environment that will drive economic growth and development across all sectors. As a testament to Ondo as a conducive and attractive investment destination, we have also heard from the Ondo Internal Revenue Service, ODRAs, on the range of measures, including simplifying business and tax processes. We also heard from the Ondo Development Investment Promotion Agency, ONDIPA, on the various investment-friendly policies, industrial parks, special economic zones established to foster manufacturing and industrialization in the state. We must move forward from this summit and bear in mind that this is just the beginning of a transformative journey for Ondo State. The insight gained, the connections made, and the strategies discussed will serve as the cornerstone of our collective efforts to steer our state towards greater prosperity and progress. Therefore, urge all stakeholders present today to sustain the spirit of collaboration and dialogue that has been the hallmark of this summit. Let us continue to work together as one administration, speaking with a united voice and collaborating on all government activities to ensure effective service delivery and the realization of our shared vision for Ondo State. The commitments made and the initiatives proposed during this summit will not remain mere words on paper. They will become action plans that drive tangible results. The Ondo State Performance and Project Implementation Monitoring Unit, PIMO, will continue to play a crucial role in monitoring the execution of these plans and ensuring that we remain steadfast in delivering on our promises. Once again, I extend my appreciation to the Local Organizing Committee, LOC, led by Engineer Razak Obein and all the other members that stood up earlier, for their credible hard work in bringing this summit to fruition. I also acknowledge our esteemed international partners, the European Union and the United Nations Development Program, UNDP, for their invaluable support to Ondo State. I would like to extend my sincere appreciation and thanks to the Niger Delta Development Commission, NDDC, for their invaluable support as our platinum sponsor for the Develop Ondo 2.0 Investment Summit. The NDDC's commitment to fostering the development of Ondo State and your active participation in this summit have been instrumental in making this event a tremendous success. Thank you for being a crucial partner in our journey of growth and prosperity. I also thank the various local entrepreneurs and small businesses that are the backbone of our state's economy and whom we are committed to supporting at all times. Through the exhibition and dedicated programs, we will continue to empower our local entrepreneurs, creating an environment that nurtures innovation and enterprise. In conclusion, let me finally extend my heartfelt gratitude to every individual and organizations that has played a role in the success of the Develop Ondo 2.0 Investment Summit. Your dedication, passion, and unwavering support have made this event a landmark moment in the history of Ondo State. Now, as I declare this summit closed, let us leave this hall with renewed determination, embark on a journey of growth, development, and prosperity for our dear beloved Ondo State. Safe journey when you leave. Thank you, and God bless.
Sound. Okay. Thank you very much, Your Excellency. Let's keep the applause coming for His Excellency. Thank you. Thank you so much. Your Excellency, Honorable Lucky Oremi-san Ayetatiwa, thank you. Okay, thank you, Excellency. Of course, I did say earlier that we will take very brief vote of thanks to go along with what His Excellency has just given us. We'll take that brief vote of thanks, and after that, we'll take a final word from the company that has helped the local organizing committee and the state put all of this together, Brevity Anderson, and that will be it for this summit. For the formal vote of thanks, please welcome with me the Ondo State Head of Service, Pastor Kayode Ogundele.
The acting governor of Ondo State, Honorable Lucky Oremi-san Ayetatiwa, please permit me to adopt already existing protocols. I have been asked to come and give the vote of thanks, and I want to appreciate the organizers for giving me this great honor and privilege. I think this would enhance my CV. I want to believe that you will agree with me that it has been 3 days of digging deep and drawing from the well of knowledge and expertise of several cerebral, intelligent, resource persons and speakers that have been brought into this conference or into this summit. And drawing from the word of the Bible, I want to say, like Jesus said, that we that have been participants in this program, as well as Ondo State, have really been blessed, because the word of Christ in that passage that I quoted, Luke 10, 23, 24, emphasized the fact that blessed are your ears for hearing these things, and blessed are your eyes for seeing these things. We have no doubt been mightily blessed with the hosting of this conference or this summit. And so on this note, I want to start by giving glory to the Almighty God, who has been so gracious to Ondo State and has made us the signature of all highs within the nation and beyond. This summit is no doubt one amongst a lot of the summits that have been held in this nation, but indeed, not just one. I see this as first among equals. And because God has been on our side, because God has been our support, we've been able to host this program, and we thank God you will bear with me that it has been a success. Glory be to his name. We want to also specially appreciate and thank the initiator, the convener of this very crucial summit, the visionary, and who is no other person than our great, our amiable governor, Arákùnrin Olúwarótìmí Ọdúnayọ̀ Akérédolú, SAN-CON. I'm aware that at a point the committee were even thinking of holding on until he comes back from his vacation. But the governor insisted this must go on. And we thank God that today we have had the experience of saying that it could never have been so fantastic. So we want to thank our governor for the leadership. We want to thank him for the vision. And our prayer for him is that he will end well and he will end strong. We cannot wait to receive him back with full strength to carry on with the good work he's been doing in the Sunshine State. Thank you, Mr. Governor. I want to also appreciate the acting governor of Ondo State, Honorable Lucky Orimisan Ayedatiwa, who has provided in no small measure quality leadership since the departure of Mr. Governor on vacation. He's been part of this program, and his presence has no doubt added great color and has contributed in no small way to the success of what we are witnessing today. So, Mr. Acting Governor, we appreciate you, sir. We thank you very much. We want to also appreciate the members of the LOC. They have done a fantastic job. We do not need to say much. What we have seen and what we have experienced since Monday has shown clearly that Ondo State is blessed with men and women who are talented, experienced, intelligent, and the best in their own sphere. We thank you very much for adding value to Ondo State, and we pray that the Almighty God will continue to increase your strength. More grace to your elbows. We want to appreciate our partners for this summit. Specifically, I would like to mention the European Union and the United Nations Development Program, UNDP, for what they have done in terms of contribution in making this program a huge success. Thank you very much. We look forward to greater partnership, to more handshakes to ensure that the dream of a great Ondo State within the Federation of Nigeria is achieved in no long time. We want to thank our sponsors, starting with the platinum sponsor, NDDC. We are so grateful, and we cannot hide the fact that we are highly impressed with the participation of NDDC. Beyond just contributing financially, the physical presence of the top hierarchy of NDDC during this program no doubt added color to the program and has actually made it the success we are witnessing today. We want to appreciate the MD and all the management staff of NDDC for their invaluable contributions. Thank you very much, and God will continue to bless NDDC. We'll continue to help NDDC to contribute in no small measure to the fulfillment of the dreams of our founding fathers in bringing up the agency. We want to thank NMPC also, silver partner. We want to thank Toyota, Jeto, and Green Energy, our bronze partners. I would only want to say that I hope that the vehicles you have brought, you will graciously drop them as part of your contribution for the growth and development of Ondo State. Granted? Our people are already smiling and laughing. So we thank you very much for your contributions. We want to thank members of the judiciary led by the Honorable Justice, our Lord Justice Odushola, who is the Chief Justice of Ondo State. He was here for the opening, and he has been represented all through by our own Lordship Adebusoye, one of the justices of the Ondo State High Court. We thank you very much. We appreciate you for being part of this program. And we appreciate all the members of the judiciary. We want to thank all our distinguished, honorable members of the State House of Assembly, headed by the Speaker, who was also here for the opening ceremony. And we know members of the House of Assembly have been part of the program right from day one. All we have seen, the executive, the judiciary, and the legislature coming together for a program like this is a clear testimony of the one administration mantra of this government. We thank you all for making everyone to see that in Ondo State, we are working together to drive growth and to drive progress in our state. We want to thank all our speakers. We want to thank the panelists. We want to thank the delegates. We want to thank all those who came, special guests, members of the All Progressive Congress, and other politicians that came to be part of this program. We want to thank all the attendees. And I want to specially, without mincing word, thank my own constituency, the Public Service of Ondo State. They have been fantastic. They have been great. The permanent secretaries leading their delegation, leading their team from their various MDAs, the accounting officers leading their team from their various agencies and parastatals to be part of this program. You have no doubt contributed in no small way, and thank God the chairman of the LOC recognized some of us working directly with him in his ministry is to show that the civil service of Ondo State is a front runner. We are in the front. others follow. I thank you very much for being part of this event, and I want to believe we'll keep the flag flying. Once again, let me appreciate the producer and the organizers of this program, Brevity Anderson, and let me also appreciate our very distinguished master of ceremony. Thank you very much, our rapporteurs. Thank you very much, volunteers. Thank you very much, all those who have one way or the other, though not physically seen, not visible, contributed immensely to the success of this program. We appreciate you all, and we wish you safe journey back to your destinations. By the grace of God, when we'll be meeting for 3.0, we want to believe there will be testimonies, visible testimonies of progress, of attainments, of some of the things that we have mentioned here during this program. Thank you. God bless you all.
Your Excellency, with the kind permission of the acting governor, would like to bring up the MD of Brevity Anderson, who also wants to say thank you. Before it comes up, when Mr. Governor asked us to hold this event, Babajide and myself, who had attended some of their events, they are located in London with a branch here. The first concern was they had never worked with a subnational government. They only worked with NNPC, federal government, and other organizations. But we told them that Ondo is one place they will come and they want to come again. And they've been here for more than 2 weeks now. They have had a series of visits. And I'm happy to introduce this afternoon Mr. James Shindi, the MD of the company, to come and say thank you.
Your Excellency, sir, I crave indulgence to allow me to stand existing protocols already established. Thank you very much. So my job this afternoon is just very simple, is to say a big thank you, sir, for the chance to serve the state. As the LOC chairman has said, we do this at national levels only. We're based in London. We've done this in various countries. And this is the first time we're working with the state government. And thank you. So it's amazing to come to the state and work with you and to make this event happen. And one of the things I like to stress and have on record is the fact that the governor himself has joined the event throughout virtually, but also, yes, but also the acting governor has been here in person making notes. This is the real sign of leadership. This is real leadership. So I'd like for all of us in the room to please stand and give a standing ovation to your governor and your acting governor, my governor and my acting governor, please. Thank you very much. Thanks for that. It is indeed a humbling experience, and thank you so much, sir. I'd like to make a public application to be adopted as a citizen of Ondo State. Thank you. Approved, okay. Thank you so much, Your Excellency. Thank you very much, and thank you so much.
Thank you, Mr. James. And with the permission of the acting governor, 2 members of the Brevity Anderson's team are having their birthday today. I know Richmond Osuji is taken aback, right? The MC just a brief talk about him. He just came from Vienna, where he emceed for OPEC. He's been everywhere. To get him here, we booked nearly 6 months ago, and he's leaving about now for other events. He's one of the best this country has, Richmond Osuji. Today is his birthday. A second member of that team is Inifon Charles. He's the one in charge of all of their registration, all of the back-end activities. Please step forward. I want you here, both of you. We have to sing for them. And I will respectfully want to invite the acting governor to give them a handshake as a token of our love from Ondo State. Please, let's put our hands together. We'll sing together. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, happy birthday, happy birthday to you. May the good Lord bless you. May the good Lord bless you. May the good Lord bless you. May the good Lord bless. Hip, hip, hip. Hip, 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 hip. Congratulations. You may cut your cake, let the acting governor be with you. I'll count 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Congratulations. Thank you.
Whoa, thank you. My goodness. Best birthday ever in Akure. My. Thank you. So, ladies and gentlemen, as we close, we're going to close the national anthem for states and the federal. But before that, I'm going to say 3 things. And when I say it, please respond, check. All right? Respond, check. So let's try. Let's just try. Let me mention a name. Let me say Engineer Obe. Say check. Thank you. Now, it's not names I'm mentioning, so follow me, okay? Safe and secure. Investor-friendly environment. The right tax policy. Ondo is open and ready for business. Ladies and gentlemen, Your Excellencies, that's how I close this event. Thank you all. It's been a great honor, great privilege doing this. Let's now rise for the national anthem of Nigeria and Ondo State. Okay, Ondo first, please. Ondo first before Nigeria. Ondo first. Ondo first before Nigeria. Thank you. God bless the Sunshine State. God bless the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Lunch is served, and I believe we all know where. Lunch is for delegates, speakers, and VIPs. Enjoy, and see you at 3.0.